I have a serious problem. I recently downloaded this new Switch game and it has completely destroyed my life. I have work I need to get on with, videos I want to make, a relationship I need to commit to, but I can't do any of that because I keep wanting to play more of this game. So I'm making this video to warn all of you that if you buy this new Switch game, then it will take over your life as you become addicted and hooked on this game, and you won't ever want to stop playing it. And that game I'm talking about is Balatro, and it's one of the best new indie games out there at the moment, so let's talk about it. To put it simply, Balatro is a roguelike deck builder game where you play different types of poker hands to rack up chips. Initially, the amount of chips you gain from each poker hand depends on what type of poker hand you play and what type of cards you play. Different types of poker hands will give you different starting chips and a multiplier value, while each card will add additional chips to the base chip value. Ace cards will add 11 chips to the score, face cards add 10, while the rest of the numerical cards add the amount of chips corresponding to the number on the card. Simple stuff. You need to score a certain amount of chips to pass the round, and as you clear more and more rounds, the amount of chips that will be required to clear a round will drastically increase, to the point where it feels like it would be impossible to beat a round with a standard deck of cards. So how do you keep up and play high scoring poker hands? Well, that's where the Joker cards come in. After each successful round, you will earn money for completing the round, which you can spend at the shop. At the shop is where you can buy lots of different types of cards, including Joker cards. Each Joker card has a specific effect, with most of them granting a boost to your chip score or multiplier if you meet a certain condition. For example, if your played hand contains a pair, gain 50 extra chips, or if your played hand contains under 3 cards, then add 20 to the multiplier. You can at the start carry up to 5 Joker cards at a time, and the idea is to get Jokers with effects that can be layered on top of each other, as this can help significantly boost your score into the thousands, the millions, potentially even the billions if you play your cards right. There are 150 different Joker cards to find, and each Joker card has a different rarity, ranging from common all the way up to legendary. It is also possible to increase the amount of Jokers you can carry at a time during your run, and if you manage to do that, then let me tell you, you are in for a very good run. The Joker cards aren't the only important cards in the game though, as the shop can also have many other types of cards you can purchase that are useful for your run. There are tarot cards which give you some sort of positive effect when played. You can also find planet cards which level up a specific poker hand, increasing its effectiveness. And finally, we have Spectral cards, which are very similar to tarot cards, as these cards will grant you with some sort of positive effect, except the key difference this time is that a negative effect will often be applied to you as well when they are played. The Spectral cards act as a risk-reward type of system, and they are often a gamble to take, but most of the time it is well worth taking the risk for the reward you can potentially get. Outside of cards, the shop can also contain vouchers which will give you permanent upgrades throughout your run, such as an extra hand you can play per round, or an increased probability of tarot cards appearing in the shop. And finally, the shop will have different types of booster packs up for sale. These booster packs can be opened, and they all contain different types of cards, varying from playing cards to Jokers, Tarot, Planet, and Spectral cards. You get to choose either 1 or 2 of the cards to keep from the booster packs before the rest of them get flushed away, never to be seen again. Now there are lots of other little features and mechanics I could talk about that are in this game, such as the enhanced cards, seals, the addition types, tags, binds, deck types, challenge mode, and more, but I do want you to discover some of the things on your own within this game. So now that I've explained to you how Balatro plays, let's talk about why this game is so great. Balatro is such a simple but also in-depth game at the same time. There are layers and layers of complexity within this game's individual mechanics, but at the same time, this is also one of the most accessible roguelike games out there. Even if you are like me and you don't know the traditional poker hands, one press of the minus button brings up a list of every possible poker combination and how you can play them. It only took me one run until I was completely hooked and addicted to Balatro, and then the game slowly consumed my brain till it was the only thing I could think about. My warning to you is that this can happen to you as well, as this is a game that will waste away your time. But if that's the only negative thing I can think about for this game, then it's got to be a pretty good game, right? This has to be one of the best examples of a roguelike out there. This game deserves to be up there with other roguelikes such as Enter the Gungeon, Dead Cells, and Hades. In fact, I would even go as far to say that Balatro is one of the best indie games we have ever gotten, and it should be up there in the big boy leagues with games like Shovel Knight, Stardew Valley, Celeste, and Hollow Knight. Oh, speaking of Hollow Hollow Knight, I made a video on that game which is on the screen right now for you to check out. Let me know in the comments if you have played Balatro before or if you are planning on picking this game up. And now that this video is over, I reckon it's time to go play some more Balatro. Told you I was addicted.